Liverpool lose to Crystal Palace at Anfield 1-0. And I am at a loss for words, but I'm going to rant because one, I have a lot to say. And two, I got to sneeze. First off, Jesus. That performance was utterly disgusting, out of character, and ultimately the exact opposite of what you want to see from a team that is pushing for a title. Okay? From the start of the game, you saw passes that weren't just too heavy or too soft or off target. You saw passes to nobody. You saw players getting dispossessed nearly every possession. Every chance that we had seemed like was saved or blocked, or we hit the post, or we didn't capitalize. This ultimately comes down to an awful performance from Liverpool Football Club. And looking at Palace did play well. When Palace had the ball, they just looked better than us. They did. When we had the ball, Palace closed down and pressed us and won the ball back. They looked better than us. So I'll get that out of the way now. Good job, Palace. You beat us at home. Not many teams can say that, so congrats. Enjoy it. Back to Liverpool. I'm literally sick. What the hell was that? What kind of response to a 3-0 defeat was that? The team sucked. Awful. The standard Liverpool problems we ran into, right? Not being clinical in the final third was a big one. Hennessy had some great saves. But, you look at just how awful we were, just giving the ball away. Overrunning balls, just poor passes. Everything about that game sucked. Palace didn't have a single corner. They were only a threat once or twice. Alisson had to make that crucial save at the end of the game. Right? Here, my theory was if Alisson saves that. If Curtis Jones converts that chance, we come back and win the game. Because Alisson makes the save. Palace take a corner. Okay, maybe they did have a corner. Palace take the corner, counterattack, beautiful ball from Gakpo. Curtis Jones can't finish. All right? As soon as that happens, Palace makes the 3 subs. We're forced to just swim in our own disgust for like 3 minutes. And that killed the game. Okay? This team is dead. I don't know what happened. A switch flipped after United. I don't know what the hell happened. This team is just dead. That performance right there, and you guys, some of you know, I couldn't watch the Atalanta game, and so when I saw we lost 3-0, I'm not watching. That performance right there was the worst performance I've seen this season, bar none. Let me go to the chat and say what's up to everyone. Derek here. Derek says, I love Klopp, but Klopp's coaching team and his players have reached the ceiling. Time for change. Clean out the dead wood. All right, so those are coming in now. All right. Queasy. Man, Jota puts the one away. Hit Klein. Nunez had 2 chances and 90. Yep. And Jones missed. Just very, very, very unlucky. So look, unlucky all across the board. Yes. But all the other aspects, like that just was the icing on the cake. All those frustrating chances that Hennessy saved or were blocked or just unbelievable. It seemed like nothing could go our way. But on top of that, the ultimate overall performance was awful. Once the subs came on, Gakpo looked pretty good. I thought Elliott and Trent made something happen. But I mean, God, bro, what is that? And for me, it's more so the mental side of things, right? You're in a title race. You're in the Europa League. Klopp's leaving at the end of the season. What else do you need as a professional football club to get fired up enough to just zip teams up for the remainder of the season and finish out strong? But instead, it seems like they're crumbling under that pressure. Why does it seem that way? When Liverpool at one time were mentality monsters, literally a team that could get anything done and were praised for it. Whether injuries or not, with Nat Phillips and Ozan Kabak at the back and Reece Williams as their backup, somehow got things done. And now you got a team in crunch time that is folding. And I'm going to ask a question. Is this team not clutch? You can look at the 27 points from losing positions and say they're clutch. But is this team not clutch? Because what's actually clutch is in crunch time in the season, when you need results, you get them. And we just lost to Palace at Anfield. What's the chat saying here? Where was the response from Atalanta game? Literally what I was thinking. Where was that response? And you know what? I will give credit to Cody Gakpo, because once Cody Gakpo came on, I thought to myself, holy crap, a player just dribbled by a Palace defender. Holy crap, a completed pass. Holy crap, a decent cross. Shout out to Morsheen for the super chat. Thank you very much. Gakpo is a left winger, not a striker. It seems like when he's on the left wing, holy crap, he's good. Good observation there, because, yeah, when he's playing out, he was phenomenal. Stellar says, the fact is Nunez, Gakpo, and Jones ain't as good as Mane, Bobby, Genie, and Salah's in decline. Ross, and you know, Ross is probably one of the most optimistic people here. And we're now Spurs. That's so crazy you say that, because doesn't it seem a little bit like that? Doesn't it? I can't remember. I literally can't remember. And again, I didn't watch Atalanta. I cannot remember a time where I sat through a Liverpool game and thought to myself, I'm actually disgusted with how this team is playing right now. I mean, it wasn't just being dispossessed. You're a step slow on everything. You're not getting the second balls, right? The chances you have, they're hitting the post or they're blocked. That's just frustrating more than anything, not disgusting. When you get chances, you can't do anything right in these kinds of games. And that's so frustrating as a fan. And you saw the players drop to their knees at the end of the game and just, what? Why? How? Everything was just, and not everything is going to go perfect for Liverpool Football Club. But you expect a team of this quality in this time of the season to put their best foot forward, and going up against a team that's 15th in the table to not get shut out? We might as well be Spurs. We have a lot of youth and we lack experience. You can't say that until the last two games, right? Liverpool have been at the top of the league virtually all season, have been competitive in every single competition until like the last month. All right. We have just crumbled over the last month. Started with losing to Man United in the FA Cup, right? You get some results against Brighton and Sheffield expected. And then after the draw to United, team got deflated. Team just went down the crapper. Speaking of crappers here, where is he at? Where'd it go? There was a comment here. No, it's Nunez. Nunez couldn't hit the toilet if he was taking a crap. John Penner, absolutely gutted. Mathematically, Bailey, we're not out of the title race. You're absolutely right. And I'm doing my best to stay optimistic. But I would like to isolate this performance and just talk about how disgusting it was because that is just not okay. Right? You can chalk it up as Queasy said. There's unlucky instances in that game, right? You're putting shots on target, and it's great saves from Hennessy, good blocks from Klein and Mitchell and whoever the hell else blocked. But then I'm looking at other instances where Salah has the ball and is over dribbling and giving it up. I'm looking at other instances where Soboslai is just completely missing a touch. I'm looking at instances where no one is communicating with the ball handler that a man is on and they get dispossessed. I'm looking at shit like that. I'm looking at a counterattack where no one is marking Eze. No one's talking. I'm looking at body language out there. People throwing their arms up. What the hell is that? Luis Garcia says we lacked energy. Kids had that energy. Jones missing the sitter is going to keep me up, dude. It's going to keep me up because that is the moment in the game, regardless of what happened before it. That's the moment in the game that could have turned it all around. You had Allison, who had a phenomenal save. And then that right after that corner, counterattack, you score, game's turned around. We could have come back and won. We could have come back and won after that. And Peaky Boy brings up a good point because I was thinking this too. Hey, Kate, never mind. I got it. This is what I was thinking. Okay. This team looks like something happened behind the scenes. Like, you know, we all can see it in Klopp, right? Klopp, he's just exhausted. He's done. He's burnt out. And that's why he announced it, right? Something happened after United. Because that's when everything turned. I mean, we don't know what happened in the locker room. Generally speaking, you think this team is really on good terms with everyone. They're a family, right? But this is unlike Liverpool. Everyone knows it. If you're a fan of the club, you know this is completely unlike anything that Liverpool do, especially under Klopp. And given the situation we find ourselves in, challenging for a title, the Europa League drama, everything, something has to have happened. And if something didn't happen, I feel like that's even worse because then it just goes to show the team is lacking ambition. The team forgot how to play. Now, I know I see a lot of people saying, you know, everything's over, and you gotta feel that way. I feel like it. But it's possible. I mean, Arsenal lose today, right? Maybe we're feeling a little bit better. I don't feel better about the performance, though. That is a problematic performance. That performance right there is everything that is wrong with how we're playing. You know, it's not for a lack of shots on target, right? Palace defended well. They played well. But it's the other stuff. It's the second balls. It's being a step slow. It's not communicating, right? Guys just touching the ball and just like turning super slow. Like there's no man on. Man just takes the ball, runs the other way. The team of old would come together and grow from strength to strength. Bailey says it's the lack of leadership that has shocked me. And I saw that today. I saw a moment from Virgil where Virgil was kind of like you know, directing traffic, like annoyed with the play, right? And you get annoyed all the time, but to wear it as wearing the captain's armband and showing that, I don't like it. You know, Henderson. One thing I'll say about Henderson is that Henderson, you could tell when he was pissed off, but when he was pissed off, he became more vocal. And one thing that sticks out in my head right now is like if we concede, you see the boys walking back to the center circle. Henderson had his head up. You could tell he's annoyed, but he had his head up, right? He's screaming at players, but he's saying, let's go, let's go. And Van Dijk, credit to him, he does that. But today I just saw the body language of not only Van Dijk, but everybody off. Players throwing their hands up, complaining. What the hell were we doing today? What the hell? Blake here. What's up, Blake? Which starter from today's game would you bench for the next league game after their performance? Nunez? You could argue Nunez and Diaz, and you start Gakpo, because Gakpo has played phenomenal the last 2 games. You start Gakpo on left wing, but fans wouldn't like that, especially with the way Diaz has been playing recently. But what do you change? You know, you're not clinical in the final third, so maybe you do change something attacking wise, but we're making the chances. So what do you do? Me, I don't think it's a personnel thing. I think it's between the ears. I think that the team just needs to figure you're blowing opportunities. You're just completely blowing opportunities. And you can look at the table and say, oh, we're fine. We only have 3 losses. It's crunch time and you're playing like dog shit. That's the problem. That's a mentality thing. That is a professional issue. Stellar says he'd start Dan's. As much as I like him, I'm not starting him at this point in the season. Maybe if we lose like 3 in a row and the team just clearly gives up, Klopp makes a statement and starts everyone, like all the kids. It's just unbelievable. City here. And this is where Steven comes into play. Steven says this all the time. Steven says that's the end of the season and the end of the Klopp era. Achieved a lot, but didn't achieve enough. And, not to get all negative, I don't want to get ahead of myself because, again, we can still win the league. It's totally still possible, right? Let's not just dig our hole and just wallow in our sorrows for, a second. It's possible. But you start to think, performing this way at the end of the Klopp era, the end of the season, you start to think, what if Klopp does only walk away with 1 Premier League title with how many good teams he's had? He's won a lot of trophies, but it's just kind of like a what if. How close Liverpool have come so many times. Maybe start Elliott. Ross says it all depends on Arsenal now. If they lose, we have a tiny chance. They won't lose. We've talked about this. Relying on other teams is a fool's game. You need to go out and win. Win. You're one of the best teams in the league, if not the best team in the league. You win against Palace at Anfield. You need to do that to win the title. At this point in the season, especially. What is happening to this team right now? Blake says 100% agree with Nunez. Commentator said he has the most shots in the league, but only 11 goals. As a 23-year-old, maybe needs to try that super sub for a couple games. Look, Blake, he was that super sub for a while, right? He came on, he caused chaos. He was really good for us. But then when Gakpo kept starting and he just wasn't producing, Klopp started playing Nunez, things started going well, so he cemented his place in that starting 11. The sample size is so small, right? You have the United result, Atalanta, and then this match, just bad performance. Obviously, the next step is what do we need to change to get better results? That's obviously the question you need to ask. I don't know if immediately benching someone is the result, but I will tell you this, Gakpo deserves a start. I don't want to see him in the middle. It seems like when he's on the wing, he plays better. But I'm more pissed off with that. I'm pissed off at the fact that you don't see that from this team and you're witnessing it at a time when they should be playing their best football. You're watching a team just blow it, choke. All the shit we give to other teams, they're doing right now. Queasy, thank you for the super chat and the support, man. Thank you all for the support. Seriously. Don't jump off a ledge, people, saying we should sell everyone. Yeah, the selling, I don't know. Maybe I missed that, but no, that's not even crossing my mind. We would have been first with a win. We had the worst week in a year. We really did. Good God. Mwanda here says poor team selection. I was surprised by starting Jones, but, you know, Frank here says, Kyle, has anybody said that their goal led a charmed life, especially in the second half? That their goal. Frank, a little. I'm having trouble understanding. Led a charmed life. Spence says we're Spursing it up, 100%. Double Agent says Man United game 2.0. It's literally what it feels like. The only difference is we didn't score and we were at home. Inspector Gary says bottle jobs, dude. You know, it's one thing to have a bad performance, right? And I'm just looking at it now because it's kind of funny. Because I'm thinking back to how I reacted, and it was legit. It just, you think back to Luis Diaz, his first chance, puts it on target. Hennessy just reactionary save, right? We've seen those before. It's a good save. And then you see, what was it, Endo off the bar. You're like, Jesus, how close are we going to get? Second half comes around. And then you see Hennessy making another save. And then you see the block from Salah's chance, and you got Curtis Jones missing a wide open one-on-one. You're just thinking to yourself, what do we have to do? What do we have to do? It's laughable. It's like you're just watching teams, or you're watching the players just like, here's your opportunity, right, to not be a fuck up. And they go and fuck it up again. Now, the blocks and stuff, that's just frustrating. But the Curtis Jones chance, I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about all the other chances throughout the season where he had 3-on-1 and we overpassed and we didn't score. I'm thinking about Kwanzaa's back pass. I'm thinking about Tottenham. I'm thinking about all this shit that has gone wrong or against us, or we've blown all these different scenarios. That's what frustrates a fan. It's not the good times. It's how the hell did we blow that? You know? And imagine if we pulled out a result or a win today. You're looking back at Robertson's goal line clearance and you're thinking, wow, what a play. You're thinking back to Allison's save. Wow, what a save. But we're not looking at it that way anymore. You're looking at it as, wow, what a blown chance. How did we not score there? Why are we so poor in possession? Why did Palace look like prime Barca? It's unreal, man. And Ross says we're making it more difficult for ourselves, but we're not out of the race by a long shot. We have run out of excuses. We're just making it so hard for ourselves. Before it was going down by a goal. You're like, all right, we're going down by a goal. That's fine. Standard Liverpool. Now you have to worry about going down by a goal and not converting chances. And today it looks like you had to worry about that, Palace playing well, and us not being able to just string two passes together. So we got some conflicting viewpoints here in the chat. Some people think we're out of the title race. Others think we don't. We're not. Mathematically, we're not. And I agree. I think we need to focus on the positives, but I'm just looking at the game today. I'm not even going to do player ratings. I think it would just be absolutely pointless to do player ratings. But I agree with this 100%. For those saying that it was a poor lineup, I think the starting 11 was well good enough to get 3 points at Anfield. No questions asked. And overall, is that Henderson, not Hennessy? Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought it was Hennessy. I've been calling him Hennessy all day. Jesus. All right, well, that makes it a little bit better because Henderson's kind of a good keeper. Why did I think it was Hennessy? Anyways, thanks for that, Chris. But Arsenal go up against Villa, and hopefully Villa. Jesus, we need something from Villa today. Supreme Architect, doesn't it seem like we say this every week now, man? It's crazy. We say this every week now. We have to win every game. We have to win every game, and we continue to just lose or draw. Salah was absolutely horrendous. I agree. We're not out of it. Guys, look, closing thoughts here. Okay? Let's wrap it up and we'll go, and I'm going to watch the Arsenal match. I'm going to stay positive after this, okay? I still believe. I do. Mathematically, it's possible. Anything's possible. But that performance was heartbreaking. Literally heartbreaking. Okay, I don't want to see my team play like that when you have a title race on the line, when you have a manager that's leaving at the end of the year that's brought you so much success, when you're playing at home. That's unacceptable at the professional level. It happens, but at this type of situation you find yourself in, it's not okay. And you got to criticize them for it. And the team needs to come together as a team and figure out the solution. I think they will, but is it too little, too late? That is the question. Thank you to everyone who tuned in over on TIFO. Really appreciate it. And thank you all for coming and supporting the post-match reaction. Thank you for the monetary donations from Queasy and Morim, I think. I can't remember who it was earlier, but thank you guys so much for the monetary donations. Really appreciated. Let's stay positive, guys, the best we can. I know it's tough, but let's stay positive. Until next time, Reds, take care.